Hello, everyone. Welcome to the town hall. Excited to see you all here. Let's play some music.
I see some of the projects. Nice.
Thanks for joining, everyone. Very cool to see a few of the Epoch 7 projects. I think when you were saying.
Yeah, I just said I see some of the projects, so it's good.
Yeah, let's see who else joins in today. See a bunch of people already. We can start with some quick updates. Epoch 7 is in full force. We've had a week of exciting activities for Epoch 7 projects to tell us about the impact that they've been doing and what their focus is on. So, yeah, make sure to check out the recordings and of the Twitter spaces. And we also had a Dragons Den where we pitched or the projects showed a bit of the quick 30 seconds showed what they're doing and was pretty fun. And next week we have something super exciting coming up. Let's see if we can share the teaser here on the chat. Make sure to check it out. We're super excited for it. And if you can give some love to the post, would really appreciate it. And shout out to Sarah for doing the amazing graphics here. She's here, so if you wanna quickly talk about it, what inspired you, feel free to jump in. If you can, of course. Oh, you're shy. That's okay. We also have our cards going. Yesterday we launched card number 8. So if you haven't minted that one yet, make sure to check it out. And tomorrow we have card number 9. It's one of my favorites, actually, the one that we're minting tomorrow. So pretty excited for that as well. As you can see, we're full on the Dungeons and Dragons theme. So make sure to check it out. And yeah, I don't know if anyone else from the team here has anything else that they want to share or discuss with the community. We can start there.
I'm sorry, I'm eating cereal right now. Otherwise, I would chime in, but I haven't had breakfast yet, and I really need to eat.
Please do, sir. Enjoy your cereal. And we have a few projects here from the Epoch. So if you'd like to, this is being recorded, so this is maybe another opportunity for you all to tell us a little bit about what's been. Maybe you can tell us about how has it been to be part of the Epoch, and also what you all are working on, of course. David, do you want to jump in?
Sure. Yeah. So it's super fun. I have to say, the Epoch is really fun so far. And we've been really grateful for being selected in the climate Epoch, of course, because that means a lot to us. Also super happy to be seeing friends, new ones and old ones, in the Epoch as well, like Sylvie and Atlantis, but also community members that we have been starting with from the very beginning, like Oceanus Conservation and Bees and Trees. We actually introduced Bees and Trees to Web3, and now seeing them doing so well in the Epoch just makes us super happy because it shows us like, yeah, this is a cool place to support each other's project. This is technology that is not too kind of far away from real world use case, right? And this is a really impactful way in an alternative financing way for projects that would otherwise not get any funding, right? And so I think that's been the biggest lesson. I'm just super grateful for the Octant team being so inclusive, super grateful for the good vibes that you guys are giving out. The Gainforce team has been like super inspired by the Octant, just the sustainable loop that you've built with the 100,000 ETH. I sometimes joke with some of the Octant team members, you guys are some kind of a Nobel Prize in crypto. Because the Nobel Prize, not sure if you guys know, it's also based on an endowment fund from Alfred Nobel. And so this is how he's financing kind of these prizes every year. And Octant is very much like this one for Web3. So yeah, inspires us also to kind of think about sustainable ways of financing.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's a cool fun fact.
It is a fun fact. And I think I come from academia, many of the academics, and one of the reasons why Harvard now is like, okay, I don't care what Trump is saying, is because they also sit on large endowment funds. And so they can actually finance themselves through the interest of this. And so it's a very strong and sustainable way, inspired by even going as back down as Islamic finance, where these endowment funds play a really big role. So yeah, super grateful.
Yeah, no, we're very glad to have you all here, and I think there's also a good opportunity to plug in Octant V2. As many of you know already, Octant V2 is about bringing what Golden Foundation's been doing so far with generating yield to fund public goods to other ecosystems, and at the same time find Ethereum alignment and fund Ethereum alignment. So yeah, super excited to for what's coming. Stay tuned for the announcement next week if you want to learn more. And yeah, back to the projects. It's super cool that you were mentioning, David, that there's a few projects that kind of you knew from before. And have you actually collaborated with them before? And have you seen any other projects that you'd like to collaborate from the round this time around?
Yeah, so Oceanus, actually, Gainforce and Oceanus started at the same time. So funny story, we were initially we launched in Solana. And if you Google Gainforce and Solana, you see us on the front page of Solana. So yeah, that's how serious we were about Solana. But Solana never supported us. They never gave us a grant, nothing. So we were a little bit like, okay, cool tech, but maybe mismatch in vibes. And we were looking for alternatives, and we met Cello in one of the events, and Cello gave us a tiny grant, like $2,000, to prove to them that we are like legit. And we found this wonderful partner in the Philippines, Oceanus Conservation, to test out this small grant. And so we spent all the $2,000 collecting tree data. If you go to the green globe and you go gainforce.app and you just search for Oceanus and click on that, you will see, I can also share a screenshot later, you can see the 5,000 trees
Please do.
we collected. And
yeah, share it, and I would love to see that. That's
yeah,
super
and
cool.
that's how we both started Oceanus and Gainforce. We have we go back from this genesis point, and we have been supporting each other ever since. They are amazing, by the way. Camille is such a rock star. She's been a Power Woman show, raising that NGO up, and Gainforce has been like, look into crypto because this is a cool place to be in, and also really great for governance and just our culture to have more diverse opinions coming into crypto, not just from the global north, but also from the global majority. That's kind of what we've been doing. And of course, like, we're talking to Atlantis a lot. They're amazing. I love her too. We're talking to other projects as well. Sylvie, we are starting to talk because obviously trees and trees. And of course, bees and trees, we're working They are also now a platform where they're putting on some data. So yeah, we're just very supportive to everything in the whole space, and just admire much of the work that our fellow people are doing here.
That's super cool, man. Yeah, would love to see the Oceanus stuff if you can. And yeah, they seem like a rock star team. I think today for the spaces, Camille was, I don't know, in the middle of the ocean or something she mentioned, or somewhere with difficult conditions, but she made it through just fine. It was super cool. Yeah, hey Magenta, how's it going? Feel free to jump in as well and tell us a little bit about Bloom Network too.
Oh, sure.
Hello.
Is now a good time to do that?
Yeah, go for it.
Hi. I know some of you have been in contact with through Dorg actually, so it's fun to see you here, and just really excited about Octant V2 and grateful for you guys doing a climate round. That's super incredible. And yeah, so Bloom is a sorry, it's hard for me to hear because the music is loud on my end.
Oh, let
Let
me
me
put it
move my
down.
headphones a little bit. No, it's okay.
can-
If I move my headphones, it's good.
You can also
Is that better?
Yeah, and yeah. So we are a social network that is governed and owned by as a and we call them local blooms. And so we're kind of coming the other direction from Ethereum localism. We've been working together since 2008, building coalitions between local projects and businesses and individual contributors on the ground. And then, building capacity among each other to do watershed restoration and learn how to do that in different ecological zones, and how to do agroforestry and community food forests. And then we kind of incubate each other peer to peer, both within a local hub that happens, and these local hubs will spin out different social entrepreneurship businesses, usually between 400 and a few thousand of them each bloom. It's crazy. And then that same process happens at the global level, where we share peer to peer with each other. Like someone figures out local food system policy, and then we can fork that and adapt it and move more quickly to address climate change and collapse and climate adaptation. So yeah, there's like the Bloom Hub in Africa, for example, there's several of them in Africa. One of them in Uganda is working on what they call large-scale commercial permaculture agroforestry. And so they're working on a method for Africa First food sovereignty, where they grow, I think, four different export crops interspersed with like 500 indigenous species. And then that helps them provide economic opportunities. They repair the soil, they repair their local microclimates and buffer against flooding risk, while having all these social co-benefits. And they actually built out their own export facility in Germany as well. So they have the whole supply chain is owned by their cooperative approach. And then, they're just as another example of like the impact in our network. I think they've taught 70,000 kids in the Ugandan school system how to do permaculture. It took them 20 years to develop, to get it approved by the country. And I think they're working on their next 100,000 kids. And so the kids they'll learn to do permaculture, agroforestry in school. They'll go home and plant gardens so their families have fresh, healthy local food to eat. And then they also teach them entrepreneurship as part of that program. So then, for example, they'll go on to have a business with an innovation in organic fertilizer that they made during their coursework. So they have this like integrated, scalable solution. And that's kind of like the same across all the local blooms. It's different for each one. They're prototyping different social enterprises and income streams. And it's kind of like this networked impact accelerator. And so, yeah, now we're at the point we like built the whole social network all on volunteer power since 2008, and it's starting to grow really fast. People do impact reporting there, and then we have a grants pool that we pay folks for contributing their time to try to incentivize more people to come out and participate. You have like a local media feed, so you can see all the projects and actions that you can go out and participate in. So it's like the opposite of the extractive model of something like Facebook or Twitter, where like advertisers and execs get the money. It's instead all of the profits of the social network over time are designed to go into the people doing the work on the ground. And yeah, we're at a point of scaling where like we really need to hire people because the growth is just too fast for us all in volunteer power. So we're like super grateful for the opportunity to be part of Octant. And yeah, it's just amazing, like learning from more heroes who are in the round and getting deeper with the work that everybody's doing.
That's super cool. I love that. And yeah, it seems like it's very timely for you all to join the Octant round. Hopefully, yeah, this can help you all scale a little bit more loosely and yeah, spread all the impact that you've been doing. That's super cool.
Thank you.
And so you mentioned scaling as one of your challenges. Like, what are there any other challenges that you're like facing now that you'd like to share? Maybe someone here can help out.
Oh, I think one of the other challenges is because we've never raised enough money to hire full staff. I'm the only developer, and I'm somewhat of a new developer. I'm like third, maybe fourth year developer. So there's a few things like we need to improve the performance on the site. We need a security review, and there's a few features that need some like a coder with more backend experience than I do. So if anyone's a coder here and has extra cycles, or know someone who does, we have it pretty streamlined, so you can pick up a feature and work on just one feature on like a small amount of your time or something. So that's one area where we could definitely use more support.
Nice. I see Lumina there jumping in quickly to offer her help, I think through someone else, but that's super nice of you, Lumina. Yeah, and anytime this goes for everyone, of course, if you have these challenges, or if you'd like to ask the Octant community, there's always a lot of resources and people willing to help. So feel free to use the chat here, the Discord, as a resource for that, to find people. And yeah, we love to see all these cross community collaborations. So very excited for that. Thanks for sharing, Magenta. Anyone else who'd like to jump in and maybe ask questions about the round, about Octant, or just share about their projects? Everything goes. I see John here. Maybe if you're available, if you'd like to share a bit about how you see it from the Climate Coordination Network front. How's the round going? Is it what you expected? Or maybe Ben as well?
Yeah, thanks. I mean, I definitely want to hear more from the projects, but good to be here on the town hall as always. I've been excited so far about the round. I think obviously there's the Gitcoin round that's been going until yesterday, so I think there's been a lot of noise about that in the last days, but I'm hoping in the next week or a little over a week until the end that the momentum picks up on the Octant side and we start seeing a lot more energy around it. Make sure we get all those GLM folks with Stake GLM in here to vote and take advantage of their rewards so they can reward all these great projects. Yeah, in general, just excited for the group of projects and have been excited to see so far how the community's reacted and kind of looking at the leaderboard and where folks are at. It's clear there's a few projects that people are really resonating with, and maybe a few that maybe we can help to get the word out a little bit. But yeah, I also know there was some talk of some short videos. I know Michelle was talking about that. I think she's not in here today, but if there's any way we can support with that, that is something we had thought about and did not get fully executed on before the round started. But I think a good learning from us and maybe something for you all is are there other ways to showcase the grantees besides sort of blocks of text and I think V2 will continue to evolve that. So I think some of that is, we're just dealing with V1 until V2 is here. But I know it was, I think Devansh tweeted about that, and that seems like maybe a good idea to have kind of short little videos of projects. But I've really appreciated that you all have held spaces all week long and have highlighted a vast majority of the grantees to date. So hopefully that helps to make an impact for the voters out there trying to decide where to allocate.
Yeah, I totally agree. And thanks for the kind words. Indeed, Sarah is here. She is doing the videos with Mashal. So if there's any questions or ideas, you can share it, and she will. I'm sure she will make sure to bring it to the process. So, what was your original idea for that, John? Do you want to share?
We had actually originally thought about trying to get like 60-second or less videos from all of the grantees, and we were thinking about, and we hadn't decided on a question, but maybe a common prompt that they all answer sort of the same prompt, so that you could kind of watch them all and get a similar sense. But that was kind of what we had originally thought about, and like I say, just didn't quite get it executed before the round started. So. But yeah, Sarah, I see you chat in the chat. Feel free to reach out to me if we can be of any support in any way. I'm happy to lend some resources to make that happen.
Yeah, sounds cool. We coordinated the last Dragon's Den on Tuesday relatively fast, so I think we can try to do that. Yeah, Chris, as you say, we still have more than a week, so I think we can do that. Like maybe if we send everyone a quick prompt and ask them to record a video, we can start with that. What would be a good prompt, you think? Maybe we can brainstorm a little bit here. Hey, Breno, what's up?
We're doing some harvesting here.
That's sick. That's awesome. Show us.
We are just harvesting some lettuce. This is from in front of my house, and down there I have a agroforest system where I work.
Nice.
But here is my base in Brazil.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Can you show?
Great
Can you?
hearing
I'm
you
gonna
guys.
make a screenshot of this. Can you show us some of the crops?
Yeah.
For X.
I can't go in the agroforest because there is no Wi-Fi. So this is just my front garden.
Nice. Awesome. Made a screenshot. I'm gonna be posting this. That's so cool, man.
Yeah, so we're doing this work with agroforestry, planting food crops with forest trees. So we go recovering the soil along the way. And yeah, through time, you grow biomass, you grow also products for the market. And that's what helps us, generate some income with the process.
That's crazy. You guys found a nice way to bootstrap while doing what you do. That's super cool. Love that.
Thanks, guys. And it was a great opportunity for being on the Octant round and get to know more people, connect more, get to know more you, Nico, Wayne also. It was fun, the quiz also.
Yeah, did you claim your prizes? You guys rocked it. For those who don't know,
Actually,
the Dragons and the whole Econavi team won. That was really fun.
They're studying hard.
Yeah, please DM Durgaras and tell the team to DM Durgaras so you guys get your GLM. And now is maybe another opportunity for you to share quickly about the project, how it's been the round so far for you, and maybe some of the challenges that you guys are facing, see if anyone here can help in some way.
Sure, it will be a pleasure.
Nice, go for it.
Okay, so thank you. I'm participating in the town hall, but we are harvesting at the same time.
Yeah, so I understand if you cannot do it now, but feel
No,
free
it's
to use
fun.
it.
It's fun. Do the both things together.
Nice.
Web3 and agriculture.
Let's go. Yeah, that's fun. Oh yeah, Lumina, we're thinking alike. Feel free to jump in, Lumina, if you wanna ask some of your questions as well. I'm sure you have some more insights that would be interesting. Hey, Donnie.
Well, sorry, I don't think I have questions anymore. I heard pretty much a lot. But yeah, I can give some comments. And first of all, thank you for creating such an experience with the faces and dragons and really saw the real faces behind the project. It was so engaging rather than just reading the project descriptions. I actually heard it from first hand, and there's such amazing speakers and inspired by this incredible work in deforestation and agriculture and regional initiatives and centralized energy and clean water. There's so many things they're covering, and I'm happy that the climate solutions are in a good hands, and happy to also see old friends in this Octant community now and discover new for me projects and such passionate people behind it. That's like big highlight of the trip, really. And I'm almost ready to reallocate after all what I heard this week. And I'm quite a whale, not a big one, small whale. So yeah, I needed some time to make a decision how much allocate to who when I think I'm almost ready. Yeah,
Lumina,
thank you for
I'm having trouble hearing you now a little bit. It was doable at the
I
beginning, but
think
now it's like a bit muffled.
it's just loud in the playground.
Ah,
Yeah,
that's
where
good.
did you lose me? Where did you lose me?
I'm just the last bit, I think. But now it's
Just say that I'm almost ready to reallocate. And yeah, thank you for the experience that let me learn more about all the wonderful people and what they do.
nice. Thank you for being an active part of it and always being there, Lumina. We really appreciate you. Nice. This is cool. Donnie, if you have you need to jump now probably, but thanks for sharing this. If you have a minute, feel free to jump in. The Eco Trust, super cool project about blue reefs, blue energy reef restoration. And that's super cool that you're sharing Instagram as well, because oh wow, you guys have a lot of followers on Instagram. 20.5K. Solid. Very nice. Yeah, Ben, please feel free to jump in. Cibric sounds super cool as well. When I wrote my bachelor thesis on the circular economy, and I was interviewing a few founders on these kind of products, and I've always been fascinated by it. So would love to hear about it, Ben.
Love it. First of all, I didn't know about that work you did. I would love to hear more about that at some point. And thanks for the kind words. Before I jump into that, just want to say first of all, a shout out to John. Seeing my bro there, who I know did so much hard work to pull this round together. It's been kind of cool to go on this journey from being a co-founder of the Climate Coordination Network to then being on the funder side and being less directly involved in CCN, just trying to help out however I can, but not having the time or the bandwidth. And now all of a sudden I'm helping grantees directly. So, I'm sort of seeing the whole spectrum, but Nico and Michelle and Sarah and everybody at Octant, the folks building the V2, I've had some little sneak peeks. It looks amazing, and just so much admiration to everybody involved in what y'all are making a reality and like keeping public goods funding alive in a lot of ways, you know. So yeah, the innovation is real. Seeing all these different people working on different parts of the stack is just so cool to see. So yeah, you know, just wanted to share that little bit of love before I you know, do the thing. But also, yeah, big shout out to David and the Gainforce crew, and it's cool to see Gravel in here, and Don, and yeah, everybody. Y'all are amazing. So yeah, standing amongst people that I am proud to spend some time with and be in the space with for sure. But yeah, so Seabrick is this project that this old buddy of mine created, and I've been sort of like on the sidelines watching for a while, and then when kind of the opportunity arose to get a little bit more involved, I jumped on it because it just, you know, hits all the right notes as far as I'm concerned. Like, you know, it's turning something that's a problem into a solution, you know, like actively sequestering carbon, like as a climate campaigner, which, you know, was the first like 20 years of my professional life. Like I spent a lot of my time and energy just like trying to stop bad things from happening. And, you know, that was like impactful and important stuff. But at the same time, it's kind of like, if you succeed, nothing happens. Like some bad thing didn't become a reality, but you don't actually like make that good thing a reality. And like building critical mass and like social license around projects is actually like a super difficult thing to do. Like, you know, it's a lot easier to build a coalition of people and coordinate around what we don't like compared to what we do like. And, you know, so as I started really taking a closer look at like the potential for Seabrick, like a lot of what actually excited me about it was that I could just see how this was such a no-brainer. You know, like the idea of taking something like concrete, which is like such a massive source of greenhouse gases, like, you know, a lot of intensive, you know, process involved in this sort of like industrial scale, you know, manufacturing of concrete, that like is just super dirty in a lot of different ways, super problematic. And if you can like even take a dent out of that, it's a big step in the right direction. And you know, with Seabrick, there's the potential for like not only reducing the emissions associated with it, but also like pivoting to the point where you're actually like sequestering carbon in building, like turning something that's a problem into a solution. So yeah, it's a pretty amazing thing to see happening. You know, this project is now a few years old, has a bunch of patents, and is actually at the place where they're, you know, prototyping and have formed a relationship with a northern BC Indigenous community, which is super cool to see. You know, I've done a lot of work with Indigenous communities over the years, and like, you know, a little alpha that I could pass on to all of you is that there's a partnership talk that might even lead to this company being like majority owned by an Indigenous community, which to me is like super exciting. You know, I'm happy to be working in service of Indigenous communities and love the idea of like the money
David,
benefits that come out of this project, you know, being something that can like be of service to you know, the traditional peoples of the place that I have called home for many years, as well as like, you know, just really like a win-win opportunity for everybody involved. So yeah, I mean, I've been talking for a bit, but long story short, you know, Seabrick is you know, pretty close to a place where we can actually, you know,
David,
Oh,
I want to,
Mike
I
there.
want to.
Lumina.
it's,
Oh, there you
I thought they were trying to
go.
jump in.
Sorry about that.
Uh,
Please go on.
oh, sure. So, I mean, basically, this, you know, the cool thing about Seabrick is that there's really a few different pieces to it. Like, there's the actual manufacturing of concrete with kelp, but then there's the like the this kind of unique patented design, which is kind of like this like you know, I call it like Lego times 1,000. It's like you know, it's an interlocking brick system that has the potential to like be not only buoyant, but also like have more tensile strength than concrete by a scale of about 3 times. Which is a pretty awesome thing to be able to see in practice. And having the actual prototypes floating around, like literally floating in water, floating around out in the world, is super, super cool. So we're just at the place right now where the first pilot projects are about to become a reality. First one will be like a dock and a bunkhouse for this indigenous community. And then there's this project which I'm personally super excited about called Kelp Island 1, which is a restoration project for decommissioned oil rigs. And like I see the potential at scale, like if you really sort of imagine where this could go, where like you could be turning all these old decommissioned oil rigs into kelp farms. They're like ecosystem restoration projects. It's like that solar punk vision of like the decaying old industry now being overgrown by like the green living amazing things. And I envision these being like cooperatives that are sort of run and operated by the people who are like working and living on them. So there's a whole bunch of ways you can sort of like take the network state idea and do it, in these like seasteading, communities potentially. But it all starts with kind of like doing the pilot projects, showing the technology is real, showing that you can actually do this stuff. And I love the idea of like crypto playing a role in like, funding these projects with innovative mechanisms, and then like actually facilitating the build out of these projects at scale. So I could take us in about 20 different directions and eat up all the time just kind of rambling on about this project. So maybe I'll just leave it at that kind of conceptual, like, this is where we're at. We're like right at the point where prototypes are being made, these kind of contractual relationships are out there in the world. And I just love being part of something that is like really bridging that gap between, the IRL world and, the meat space, as some people call it, and in the Web3 space. And again, thanks to the Octant crew for just making this opportunity a reality for so many cool projects, both inside and outside of Web3, and some with a foot in both world. Just have so much admiration for everybody who is just kind of like continuing to keep their head down and building innovative public goods funding, and like continuing to, even with all the wild stuff going on in the world, and that's a nice way to put it, climate solutions still really need to be real, and it just means a lot to me as somebody who's worked my whole life on like trying to make this stuff a reality, to see all these opportunities for so many innovative and exciting projects. So thank you to everybody who's making that real. All right, I'll stop rambling on, but if anybody's got questions or wants to get more involved, I mean, working on open source tech in a public goods project, would love to collaborate, coordinate with any and all of you. Lots of big brains in the room right now, for sure.
Yeah, no, that's amazing, Ben. Thanks for sharing all that. Very bullish. That picture of these oil rigs being kidnapped by the kelp is pretty cool. Pretty cool visual to have. So hopefully it becomes a reality. Maybe related to your last ask, what are some challenges that you're facing right now, that you foresee facing? Maybe there's something that people here can help with.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good question. And I mean, obviously there's kind of the same problems everybody has, just around like not enough time and money and, and all that. Although, I'd say those things are kind of taking care of themselves in some ways, as well as, partnerships seem to become a possibility and more interest is out there. I mean, for me personally, it's just like too many balls in the air, and I'm a juggler, so that, says something. The more pragmatic, practical problem is actually a regulatory one. Shocking news, regulatory problems. Basically any new building material being approved is a time-consuming process. And this is part of the reason why we're starting with ocean-based construction, because it's a different regulatory environment when you're like, offshore. It's also the reason why a lot of network state folks think about, offshore activity. But like, we really want to like disrupt not just the marine construction industry, but like construction overall. Just kind of like the evolution of life on Earth. We're starting in the ocean and like migrating our way onto land. But I know that there's many places in the world where there's refugee camps or like disaster relief areas where like the regulatory environment might be a little bit different, where there's just like an interest in like seeing solutions become a reality faster. So this is one of the things that we've been talking a lot about recently, with the other folks involved in CBREC, is like, where can we be most useful and effective on planet Earth? These abandoned oil rigs is kind of like one example where there's something that's a big cost for a company to deal with and they need some sort of solution. But we're also very interested in like brainstorming, crowdsourcing with people, other ways that this tech could be used. Also looking for people who are like the Minecraft, folks out there, like, who wants to like actually try building some interesting stuff with the, like with these Lego pieces. Like we've got the CAD files, we've got the sort of, and we have some interesting builder types out there who are like actually putting together some like this, you could build this or you could build that with these structures and sort of putting some of the core building blocks together. If people are interested in geeking out with that kind of community of builders at a very early stage, like our intention is to actually have like an interface where people can do this in a pretty hands-on, sort of easy to do kind of a way. But like if you're a CAD file nerd, if you're like a Minecraft type person, if you want to like imagine what could be done with the this stuff in a virtual space, definitely that is a very ripe and interesting thing to be doing.
Yeah,
with
it's
the 3D
tasty.
modelers and the builders out there.
Very cool. Wait, let me mute Jord here quickly. There we go. Yeah, man, something that it's funny because when I was writing this work about circular economy, the thesis was writing about scaling barriers for circular economy startups, and the conclusion was exactly that. And I see Dirk as they're saying the same, and Lumina too. The regulatory part was top one, despite especially here in Europe, there are supposedly a lot of like helps and a lot of push towards the circular economy, but it's, in my opinion, all bullshit, to be honest. Sorry for putting it so bluntly, but that's what I've seen, and this is resonating a lot here. That those were the biggest challenges, despite. So yeah, it's very kind of paradoxical, let's say, that those are the issues, and the narrative goes in a different way. But
Funny how it works, isn't it? And I don't doubt that there are people out there with good intentions, and it just like so much gets stuck in the kind of bureaucratic nightmare of like existing processes or the initiative or the sort of even good intentions of some of that regulatory environment. Like obviously regulations are important when it comes to building materials. Like we don't want people living and working in like faulty structures, but like there's got to be ways to speed run those processes and like increase their efficiency, because there's lots of problems with the status quo, and it's kind of that status quo bias, I think, that that can become super problematic, and also just like a lack of urgency just overall. The incentive structures seem to be so squarely rooted in like not sticking your neck out, not changing things, and maintaining the status quo, and that just feels fundamentally wrong to me.
yeah, no, totally agree. Let's see. Hopefully, we can have some pushback in the next few years, and have all when you start proving that these things work, sometimes that makes things easier, regulatory wise. But yeah, and yeah, let's see if anyone here can help Ben and the Seabreak project with those things he asked. Please reach out to him, and feel free to use the Discord here as a resource as well to share knowledge and support each other.
One thing I'm really curious, maybe this is secret among you guys at Octant, but like, you know how you're doing the theme round this time on climate, which is amazing. Do you have any plans to like keep doing the open rounds, or do you think that you'll end up eventually running like a few parallel topic specific ones? Is there anything about future plans that you guys feel like sharing?
Yeah, great question. To be honest, what V2 is gonna focus on mostly is Ethereum alignment. So that makes, like the Epoch kind of thing is gonna be working differently when we launch V2 in general. But definitely the focus will be a little bit more on Ethereum alignment, but that doesn't mean that we are not gonna, what you say, like run some other stuff in parallel, and there's potential to have some follow-up. It will depend on the community as well. So an invitation for you all to be active, like what is meaningful to be funded in these more sort of like parallel activities that we do. For example, right now we have the growth fund where a lot of creators are being funded. We're gonna be running some other public goods rounds. Maybe you've seen the one that we've done with Giveth and ENS. So those things are likely still gonna be relevant. But as an Epoch itself, I'm afraid not. Sorry to disappoint you in that sense, but I think we're gonna have some other activities to keep supporting this.
All good, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm excited for a herd of dragons to come together and wondering maybe a climate specific round. So that certainly have an eye on that ball as V rolls out. So certainly that's from somebody outside of Octant viewing how we could use V in a way to fund this part of the crypto ecosystem. I think opportunity. I'm seeing.
Yes. Oh, sorry, you're cutting up a bit, John. But indeed, I think there's big potential for that. Onboarding dragons, maybe like, I don't know, Tello or some other kind of more climate related or more that this is their jam basically. I think there's potential to have something with those kind of projects. We first need to convince them to join us dragons, but I'm sure that will happen eventually, and then we can dream of all that. Yeah, dragon herds. That's so cool. Hopefully we grow our dragon herd soon with V2. All right. Anyone else want to jump in, ask questions, comments, or just share about their projects?
One comment I have, kind of just quick, is I really appreciate how focused the round has been in terms of like when we're promoting and stuff like that. Change code, like a lot of other projects here, I know has and is part of Gitcoin rounds and stuff like that, which are awesome. But the constant need to shill can sometimes get in the way of the progress we're making. So really just want to tip my hat to the Octant team in terms of like how focused y'all have been on dedicated times to promote the structure and everything like that. I feel like we've actually still been able to progress during the round. I mean, hell, just this week we got another 32,000 credits minted for one of the new methane projects we're working with, and it's cool to still be able to have that progress while in a funding round and while being part of these conversations. So just wanted to shout that out. I really enjoyed that from this round.
Thanks, Chris. Really appreciate the feedback. And yeah, we try to be very mindful about that because I know how time consuming can be participating in these rounds. And especially Mashal, she's written a lot about grants. And I think this is a problem that pops up often. That is, how much do you dedicate yourself to trying to get funding through these rounds versus making impact. So I'm really glad to hear that it worked out for you, sir. Really excited for your project as well. How's the round been going for you?
It's been a lot of fun. It's definitely a different community. I've gotten to meet not only new projects but also kind of new people in the community. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's cool, but it's also, I think, sometimes a little sad to see how different the communities are. There's still some silos, still some walls that exist, and it's like, oh wow, we're all like so aligned, but just because I wasn't, in a particular conversation or a particular Discord yet, it's kind of amazing to me for such a small space overall, just how many different bases or silos we're in. But making new friends is always a wonderful thing, and whenever I can connect people inside of Octant to outside of Octant or vice versa, I'm going to do so, trying to tear down those walls whenever possible.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point. Do you have any ideas on how maybe we as Octant could facilitate this sort of cross collaboration between projects, or tearing down those walls?
Yeah, I think, and I'm super excited for more of the V2 announcements next week, but I kind of feel like a lot of what y'all have been doing in terms of like the non-Octant sponsored rounds that you guys have been doing with Give It or some of the joke rates stuff is a great way to do that. And I think that really is a step in that direction, because I think it was, I don't know, maybe it was the Give It round or something. One of the ones that y'all ran outside of your role, Epoch, was the first major contact point I at least had with the Octant ecosystem, coming more from that Gitcoin Give It side of things. So I think the collaboration between funders is, maybe a great thing, and hopefully that's maybe part of the V2 strategy as well. But yeah, you guys have already started doing that, and I think that's been, pretty successful in promoting that collaboration and just getting more knowledge out there.
No, this is great, great insights, Chris. Thanks a lot for that. I can already think of a few things we can experiment with to get that ball rolling. But yeah, indeed, I think on one hand, kind of collaborating with other funders, and also I think these focused rounds also help a lot, as you were mentioning earlier. So yeah. Yeah, it's easy to kind of neglect that challenge of kind of building walls and silos in projects that are in the end like have so similar visions. So yeah, let's figure out a way to tear those down and create some collaboration between projects. Maybe next time, I was thinking we can do something around that, like some sort of matchmaking between projects or something.
Matchmaking would be really, really cool. I'm always so terrified that I'm accidentally building something that, like, a part of our protocol or platform that we shouldn't be building and we should actually be collaborating with. But I think a lot of times for a lot of us, it's not even intentional. It's not like, ooh, I know I have all the right answers. It's just, oh, I didn't actually know that you were working on that and that we could collaborate. So yeah, there platforms and funders in position to facilitate matchmaking. I know we would definitely, take you up on that, and I'm optimistic that a lot of other projects would as well. I think oftentimes the duplication is more accidental than purposeful.
Yeah, this is giving me ideas for next week's town hall, that what we can do. Actually, Region Avocado, I see you're here in the call as well. You also mentioned something similar in the last town hall, I remember.
Yes, sorry I'm late. It's been a busy day, but I just wanted to briefly jump in, and on the topic of matchmaking, the love story between Sylvie and Refi Cecilia has gone deeper. And I just, if I can, show you my screen real quick.
Please go ahead. Can you share?
Yeah, I was out in the field today, basically logging all of our new tree planting. And so this is, and there's some exciting new features coming. So this is a little bit of an alpha, but I just wanted to show like how this process works because it's really interesting. So you can see like where we've spread this like meme of like logging tree plantings on Sylvie. So you can see where we've like been busy, where the mycelium is spreading, and these are all like independent farm sites and reforestation sites around the island. And here, this is the main demonstration site. So I was just out there like tagging all of these trees. So every green dot is an olive tree that we've planted. And what's really cool, so you can like go and see individual trees. And this is linked up with the soon to be announced Treecopedia. So they've got a massive online database of like this whole tree database. So yeah, I was out there today logging all of these trees that we planted. So we've got a bunch of awesome like metadata here, and also like a nice payout per tree. And then earlier in the week, I also went by with the drone, and so we were able to do a ortho mosaic. So you can see like very detailed. So this is one of the ways that like you can double check the trees. And so there's a combination of like the cell phone data, drone data, and satellite data. So yeah, it's really exciting to see all this come together, and just wanted to share that with you all quickly.
That's so cool. I love these cross-project collaborations that are happening. David from Gainforce was also sharing some screenshots of his how Oceanus was also part of their platform and stuff. So this is really, really cool to see. I love that.
What would be amazing, and I think this is where we're going to be growing towards, is that once we have this DMRV of this tree planting, then that can be connected directly to our impact reporting, pushing it to Karma Gap, pushing it to Bloom Network. And so, yeah, a lot of integrations. Gameforce is doing an amazing job as well on, the reforestation and DMRV. And so it's really cool to see all this stuff finally, after many years, starting to like really gel. So, Octant Epit 7 is doing a great job of just like, helping to grow this movement. So really, really appreciative all the effort and all the donations and all of the time and attention put into this.
Yeah, no, thank you all for the hard work that you've been doing. All the projects are so impressive, and seeing all the collaboration between projects just makes me even more bullish. This is cool.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, and I love to see how has happened both throughout this round, but also ahead of time. These projects are working with so many other projects, and we certainly, when we were doing our reviews, we didn't necessarily add like extra points or anything for people that were working with others, but we were excited to see how many of the projects that we're in are working with so many other projects, and so some of the funding will kind of funnel down into the larger refi community because of this, because some of these strong projects are working with so many other projects and providing these core tools. And I couldn't agree with you more, Chris, with your comment earlier about, knowledge sharing and connecting people. It does feel like there's so many of these tools, and if we all start to focus on a few of these primitives and use them throughout all the different projects instead of trying to reinvent the wheel every 5 minutes, that's really how we're going to succeed as a larger community movement, whatever you call it. And so yeah, I'm really bullish on all the projects that are working so hard to really collaborate and work in an open source and build in public. So
Yeah, that gives me an idea of maybe next town hall we can all sit down and make a sort of kind of like a map of like the different connections between projects, and potentially that will make it easier for other projects in the space to understand where they fit in and how they can connect as well. I don't know if that idea resonates with you all. Or what would be a good dynamic to bring in the next town hall to encourage all this?
Was that a question to the group or me specifically?
No, yeah, to the group. Sorry, I got distracted also reading the comments, but yeah, if you have any ideas.
Yeah, I'll be curious. I am biased, and so I should, plug Karma Gap here because I feel like there's going to be a lot of insight once this round is over and once people start reporting. And there's a new Karma AI tool, so you can actually query using this AI interface, like how projects are doing. And I feel like having that visibility and having that follow-up after these grants are done is really important because like that's when the work starts, right? And so a lot of, if it's a hackathon or whatever it is, once the initial excitement is over, and then these projects still need support. And so I think we're going to get a lot of great like visibility and clarity into where we can deepen these integrations and synergies. So yeah, really looking forward to that.
Nice. Yeah. Let's figure that out. I just realized we're beyond the time, so unless there's anything anyone want to share to finish off, otherwise this has been great. Time flew by. Yeah, past 7. Crazy. Otherwise we can wrap it up.
Good.
Oh, yeah, Wayne. Right?
No, I got nothing to say. I think it was good to listen to everybody. I think you and we can chat a little bit. I've also been thinking about this matchup and the meetup and stuff like that. I think we can chat and we can make, we can chat a little bit and then we can get some feedback from the group. Yeah, I think slowly but surely, I think we can whittle it down until we got something that we can actually start to create a little bit of matchmaking and see some stuff like that.
Let's do it. Nice. Thanks for sharing,
Thanks,
Brennan.
guys. These are just the corn also we harvest today. Great times with all of you. Cheers.
That's so cool. Thanks for sharing, man. Crazy.
That was so funny.
Town hall with life harvesting. This is so cool. I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
All right, thank you, everybody. This was super fun, and come by next week for this special activity that we're about to define. But I think it's gonna be very productive. So, thank you all. Appreciate you all as well, and yeah, talk soon.
Cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
Bye.